Paranoid Radio.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Paranoid. Tell me, boy.
I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid. Bitch, I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid. Bunch of paranoid.
Testicles, 1, 2, testicles. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. This is Paranoid Radio Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. For the people that do not know and they're just tuning in, my name is Trebles Garcia, and I am the humble host of this amazing episode, amazing show with amazing content for amazing listeners like you. Ladies and gentlemen, the person that's going to be joining me on the main conversation and topic of today is Big Tank, the best co-host in the motherfucking planet. Big Tank, salute, salute. That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, he is not here for the intro, but I'm doing this intro to basically set the mood and jump in from the deep end of the pool. Ladies and gentlemen, striking where the iron is hot, this topic is going to be a little nostalgic for all of us, and I edited it to a point where it does not talk shit to the generation that has passed or that are coming now. We're just basically mentioning the truth that a lot of the fucking things that happened in the 90s are have a grasp and are straight impactful still to this day in 2023. From the entertainment industry to movies to music to the way you dress. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 90s forever. Before all of that, I need to remind you guys that Paranoid Radio Podcast is now absolutely free on all podcast platforms. As a matter of fact, you can check us out on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. These are the main three major platforms, but we are also on many other platforms. And if you want to know what other platforms we're on an international scale, go to paranoidradio.com. On the menu, take a visit and check out our website where you can see deleted videos that got us banned in TikTok, special shout outs from influencers and friends, etc., etc., etc. Go down to the drop menu. You could also find the special guests and links that we've had on the show. And also you'll be able to find all the platforms that we are available today absolutely free. As a matter of fact, I want to make sure also to shout out and give special thanks to our longest and first sponsor of the show, Los Cuñados Bullies. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. As Big Tank has told you before, this is going to be the official commercial, so check this out. Los Cuñados Bullies is the newest dog breeding organization to hit the valleys of LA. That's right. In fact, now that the season's upon us, they have the hottest dog species in the market ready to spread seeds with the best dog handling experience with guaranteed results. Featuring 2 Frenchie Bulldogs, Mr. Tekken, the baddest Blue Merle, Osito, the Sable King, and Thor, the upcoming Pocket Bully Stud. That is right, all within a well-rounded camp and a set of beautiful puppies in the works with Canela, the baddest Don Frenchie. From Los Cuñados Bullies, we want to send shout-outs and mad love to all the audience and listeners, and if you use promo code PARANOI on your next purchase today, in new addition to your familia, Los Cuñados Bullies will bless you with an amazing discount. Make sure you check out Los Cuñados Bullies on Instagram, Los_Cuñados_Bullies on Instagram. That is the fucking commercial I set up for fucking Big Tank. Big Tank, I hope you give me a hug for that one, guys. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next part of the show. This is the conversation I had with Big Tank. I hope you guys enjoyed this filler episode. I really enjoyed it myself. We're preparing amazing sit-downs, amazing interviews with amazing people. And as a matter of fact, with people that we've had on the show before, I'm working on getting rhinos, conspiracy theorists, and deep state correspondents. And you already know what's up. Next week, we're having Flash from Flash_News1, blow the fuck up, talking about Kennedy Jr., Trump, and all the good shit about QAnon. So make sure you stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. This is Paranoid Radio Podcast. Enjoy.
Paranoid Radio.
That is right, Big Tank. Thank you for those 2 amazing stories. As always, doing an amazing job. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have an amazing episode lined up for all of you guys, filled with nostalgia and historical events that are shaping our present day. I want to say teenagers today wear the Edgar haircut, aka the mushroom haircut, like the Dumb and Dumber movies sometimes. Overall, the overalls and the flannels are back, and all we need now is neon colored windbreakers and the.
Hey, hold on. What's wrong with flannels?
I love flannels. No. I love flannels.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, wait, you're making it seem. You got something to say?
What I'm trying to say is that they're
on the flannel name, homie.
They're back. The entrance. They are here. He who controls the past controls the futures, guys. I've told you that many times in this show before. Imagine if we cut deep into the 80s and the satanic panic, or the 70s and the cocaine syndicates. Imagine if we knew for how long we've been told the future through the past. With the computer revolution came the internet, the floppy disk, the pager, the Nokia cell phone, and with that, the death of childhoods outside in the sun and the deterioration of mental health. On Fridays and Saturday nights, family-based sitcoms and shows like Sábado Gigante ruled undisputed until the takeover of reality TV. We could thank the MTV for that in the early 90s. Today, we will discuss the trends and lost valuables of the 1990s, the golden finale of a century that gave birth to us millennials. Moreover, how the programming and the culture in every aspect has been weaponized and repackaged in 2023. Welcome to the 90s forever, babies. That is right. Millennials in the fucking house. Big Tank, what's up, what's up?
Salute, big dog. Hey, big dog, I have a question. Did
Hit
you
me.
get a chance to use a pager?
No, I had it as a toy because by the time I was born in 1990, fool. So by the time pagers were in, I was like 5'6". So I wasn't a full-on pager dude.
Yeah,
Like,
no. Because I remember that was more of an 80s type of thing. I
mhm.
mean, especially a local drug dealers fucking had it right there.
As a matter of fact, it was a problem for high school kids to have pagers back then because it would connect them to drug dealing, and it's kind of like if you put like me, right? I'm tatted, balled up. You see me in the streets. Oh, he's affiliated to gangsters or fucking cholos in LA, right? That's what they thought. Like people would see these pagers in teenagers, are like, oh, they're drug dealers. Now, talking about drugs, you know what? Let me drop some knowledge for you real quick. Do you know what was the most common drug used recreationally and sold over the counter in 1990? That's still the biggest drug today in the streets?
Cocaine.
No, painkillers.
Oh.
Trip the fuck out.
Oh,
I did the
shit,
research
okay.
yesterday. I seen the graph from 1990 to 2022. 2022, dog. That was a year ago, dog. The high it has gone 5.9% up every year from 1990. It's been 3 decades of this shit already, and the painkillers have been the most sold and used recreationally. When I mean recreationally, means
Yeah. Oxycontin. I mean, all of those definitely have a major impact. Fuck. Okay. Shit. I didn't even think about it. Honestly, I was thinking like cocaine, heroin, cocaine cowboys. You got me? Shit. Okay.
cocaine
Shit.
and cocaine accessories.
Yeah. Real talk. I mean, that's the first thing that popped into my head. Let's be honest about it. But
and who could ever forget the fucking culture? Now, the reason we're bringing the 90s into this conversation, that I was speaking with Tank, is because I feel like the 90s is from the 90s, there hasn't been new transformation of culture at all. Let's talk about music.
Okay. It's been quote unquote changed, but there hasn't really been a significant revamping of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, stuff has changed, but it's pretty much been staying the same. For example, if we're talking about 50s, 60s, how it was more of a rock, you got me? Then you went into the 70s and 80s, which was more of a disco, electric type of dance feel to it. And then when you went into the 90s, you had that hardcore
rock was
gangster.
huge in the 80s.
Oh, it was. Yeah. But as it digressed, I mean, all we've had is gangster rap to just different genres of rap to now it be called club music. And even then, it's still a major entendre if we're being honest about it.
Pop culture in general, dog. Pop culture in general has been relabeled and repackaged today. Let's say, for example, the clothes. Like I told you, my daughter is 12 years old and she goes to middle school. She's in 6th grade and she wears the shoes and the fucking clothes that kids were wearing, like the kids were wearing the Steve Madden shoes, the fucking the Selena pants, the fucking the layered, the chokers. All of that shit's back now. At least in California, here in California, what I'm talking about. I mean, these kids are recreating, and what they don't know is that the same shoes that they purchased last week, or that they purchased at the mall, that they desire to have, the fucking Air Maxes, the famous shoes, Air Jordans, are the shoes that were glorified in the fucking 90s, not to mention the NBA. Did you know that also there was a big problem in the 90s where baseball lost a lot of fans and a lot of viewers because all the players went on strike? It was fucking trippy. Yeah, it was trippy, dog. Baseball lost a lot of viewership that decade, and the NBA was able to fucking blow the fuck up. And who blew up the NBA? Michael Jordan, and the GOAT, the original GOAT. And no one has ever been able to surpass the sales of Michael Jordan shoes in any other fucking decade after Jordan. And that's fact. You could check that out. Even Kobe couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
no, no,
Imagine.
yeah, I see, yeah, I've definitely seen that. I mean, let's be honest about it. It's like Nelly with the Air Force Ones. Air Force Ones before Nelly, before he came out with a song, he even said himself they were priced at like 45, $50.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden it just jumped from 85, 90. Right now, I think they're like 105 for some Air Force Ones. And it's just different variations. Now, I mean,
I
personally,
seen them
I
go for like
rocked
two
Air Force One.
something when they come out, dog. When people
Oh,
buy
when
them
they're
for
all
the right
custom,
sizes
yeah,
and shit,
yeah, yeah.
they
I've seen them.
resell
I
them.
see.
Woo!
Yeah. I mean,
It's
so
insane.
it definitely is. Shit. I mean, okay. So if there hasn't been a new style and it's just been more of a revamp and switching it, what does that mean though? I mean, okay. So you and I both grew up in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
I want to say we came from a pretty much a Hispanic Latino household.
Uh-huh.
So for the most part, it was what 501, 569s, black collar shirt slash dressing shirt, some type of Vans or Air Forces type of ordeal.
Casual.
That
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah,
casual.
casual.
That was basically the thing. Um, then it sort of you had a subsection. What was it after that? If I remember correctly, the whole what was it? The whole techno phase, the real tight pants, the 513s, the 511s. You get me? But
The
even then,
90s was huge with the rave scene. I don't know if you know, but the rave scene blew the fuck up. Underground warehouse raves. Back when they were the word rave, now they're called music festivals. And I come from that
yeah,
world, bro.
yeah,
The
yeah.
word rave was big in the 1990s. When ecstasy came to happen, it happened in the early late 90s. A matter of fact, the biggest music festival creators today, Pasquale, the owner of Insomniac, the one that creates the biggest a music festival in the fucking Western Hemisphere, EDC, created his raves and started throwing raves in LA in the 1990s. He bloomed in the 90s. Who could ever fucking forget about the neon colors? All of that's coming in today back, fool. You know what, dog? I'm gonna be honest with you. Even music, movies. Let's jump into the movies, dog. All of the fucking movies that were created in the 90s, not only in the 90s, they've been recreated, but most of the movies that have been created in the 90s, these franchises, they have been relabeled and restructured and resold to the public today in these fucking past decades. I mean, the past couple of years. I cannot think any other decade that has been replicated the most. And the one thing that I could honestly say that has destroyed the creativity of all entertainment and culture, it has to be technology, dog. Everybody wants to be a content creator now. So everybody wants to be a fucking DJ. Everybody wants to be a co-host or a podcast show host.
Yeah, oh
Everybody,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, oh
fuck
yeah.
you. Everybody has something to say and something to do. And a lot of us, instead of being, I want to say, original, they became consumers. And it's so easily now to just fucking keep consuming, right? To an extent. It's so easily now to just keep fucking keep trolling on the internet or keep quiet in your house and be blown up in the digital world. It's so easy to do that now. We didn't have that in the fucking 90s. You get what I'm saying?
You know what? I can see it because I mean, shit. Let's talk about past to present. I mean, I'm not gonna dive in deep into the movies because I don't have too many off the top of my head. But I will say, Power Rangers flourished. Pokemon flourished, Dragon Ball Z flourished, and they're not letting them
1995,
die.
Dragon Ball still live today. It was
Exactly.
first released in
They're
the
not.
US in 1995. Yes.
Well, just take a look at the whole Pokemon saga. They're finally getting rid of Ash. But what does that mean for Pokemon? Yeah, they're gonna introduce a new series, but is it gonna flop? Is it gonna go? But they're trying to revamp it. I mean, shit, as far as movies go, I mean, one of the earliest Transformers that I remember was the whole Beast Wars. They brought it just that one out. They turned it from a TV show to an actual movie. I mean,
That was a 90s cartoon, and now they brought it back.
exactly.
They're retelling the stories. They revamped the animated story. 90s was a revamping of animation too, bro. Toy Story,
Yeah.
and this is fact. Toy Story shaped the new animation industry into computer animation. That was the fucking movie. Pixar and Disney made so much money on that fucking movie, and so many became a staple in animation because they transformed animation from stop animation, not that's called, I think it's called stop animation, that like the pictures that stop, to computer animation. Computer animation blew the fuck up after that. That's fucking crazy. Who could forget fucking Nightmare Before Christmas in 1994, 1992, I believe. Another fucking banger. another staple that won. The only reason that they lost that year was because another great fucking movie came out, which fucking blew up the fucking the special effects world, was Jurassic Park. Talking about Jurassic Park has been retold in 2020s.
Yeah,
You go watch Jurassic World, the same fucking movie as Jurassic Park. Just different effects, new dinosaurs, new faces, but the same fucking story. You tell Fallen, what's it called? Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, the other two fucking movies. There's 6 movies of Jurassic now. They're all telling the same fucking story that the first original movie. There's nothing new under the sun. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane, dog. Even the music. When that song come out, dog? I don't wanna know if you're playing me. Keep it. Is that a 2000?
Yeah, it's like a 2001. Yeah, I know it, John.
Well,
so
even at that,
are you saying the 90s have never officially ended?
I think the 90s is the last. I'm gonna tell you something about the 90s. The 90s has become a staple, and I like this conversation because it's really freestyle. The 90s. I'm not saying the 90s was the fucking best era, because I know there's other people out there that think the 80s were. I think 80s were a very strong era as well, culturally.
Well, I mean, I think if you ask anybody,
amazing.
whatever the year they're born, and they're gonna say they had the best
Exactly.
era. I will say we were the last era where we actually kids got to be kids and play outside. I will say that.
Well, we saw the ending of that era and the beginning of the digital world era, because technology destroyed everything, dog. If it wasn't for technology, we would still have our kids outside playing bikes. Bike sales have gone down. Now you have tablets. You see what I'm saying? It's the difference, dog.
I agree with that. Because let's be honest about it. I mean, scheduled program for people that were able to afford cable or satellite in the 90s, it was pretty rare. I mean, not rare, but I mean, not everybody had. And
most of us had the cable stolen because our homies used to bring it out. Yeah, stolen cable. Or the box
but even
cable.
then, you only had certain times to watch certain things. For example, if you went on Cartoon Network, they didn't have that good programming every single time. There was a lot of shows that we just didn't like. You get me? So you'd pick and choose what time you'd be out, what time you'd come in. And if you didn't even have that, you only watched as soon as you got home, from about 3:30 to 5, 3 o'clock to 5, you'd have those 2-3 hours of cartoons, and then it would switch over on channel 5 or channel 11, and then you wouldn't watch cartoons until Saturday. You'd get full 4 or 5 hours of cartoons. So after that, you'd get off, because why? You weren't interested. Maybe you were, depending on your age. Will Smith, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, reality shows. Or even then, I mean, dive a little bit more.
Every show is reality show now. It's like to take over reality shows. Like, what the fuck? You know?
I mean, shit, look at channel 5 and 11 during the week. They had, that's literally all they had. Now they don't even have that. Now they're having what Bills before the birth of 2.5 Men, what they have before Gilmore Girls, Friends, Seinfeld, and then they just started multiplying and evolutionizing. I mean, even when Simpsons came out, they were such a broad, short timing. Now, in some channels, you'll go and they'll have a whole Simpsons marathon, or you could have the Simpsons marathon on yourself watching Disney. So, I mean, hey, okay, you're not wrong about that, because it does affect. Some kids don't value the outside. They want to be tablet sitting down. So, yeah.
Let me ask you something. How is it? Okay, so for us millennials, we're not the best generation. I don't think there is a best generation, but I am going to say that we're probably the most adaptable generation. Control the millennials, you control the next 40 years of not only political climates, but also culture. And the reason I'm saying is because through me, and I'm gonna put it like this, I'm gonna give just my example. Through me, it has been very easy for me to adapt to have a tablet or a phone or a fucking cell phone and give that to my kids for entertainment, right? It's so easy for me to do that. But at the same time, I could also find myself being proactive and taking them out and showing them how to play dodgeball outside. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm completely adaptable on both rounds. Or Foursquare or fucking tetherball. So I feel like we're so adaptable, but also very influential, and could be very influenced on. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of the things that were fed to us in the 1990s through cartoons, entertainment, and the music industry are now taking effect on later generations, and we're that later generation. For example, in the 1990s, we were having drug selling music, and now we're consuming drug user music. But have you ever noticed that for us millennials, it's very hard to accept these mumble rappers or these mumbling fucking losers that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All they talk about is about being high with fucking.
Hey, compared to the Gen Zs, that's all they love, though. I mean, hey, Gen Zs, my brother, and a little bit further down, all they seem to love is all their mumble rappers, the catchy beat per se, with no real lyric behind it, as opposed to our generations that we love the punchlines, we love the flows that some people are sleeping on. So I had this conversation the other day where this guy said he's like, Lil Wayne's whatever's, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, me and you are huge Lil Wayne fans. You're probably a bigger Lil Wayne fan than me. I took it personally. I'm like, oh shit, if it just slapped me across the face. What do you mean? and I'm like, what do you mean? Who could take him out? And I thought he was gonna give me some J. Cole, some Kendrick to throw at me.
He said Lil Baby.
No, he didn't even say Little Baby. He's like, oh, just pick any of the SoundCloud rappers. Most of them are better than them. I'm like, fool, you talking about those emotional, dysfunctional motherfuckers that all they do is... Yes.
Every SoundCloud rapper today, the biggest rapping names in rap today, you ask them who their favorite rapper is, Google it. I'm not lying. Ask them who their favorite rapper is, and amongst the top 5, it's going to be Lil Wayne. Lil Baby, Lil Wayne. The biggest rappers today, Lil Wayne. It's funny.
I actually find it funny that a lot of them, now that you're bringing that up, has no real context. But a lot of them are actually saying, throwing Drake in there in the top 5. But I'm not, okay. The only reason I'm going to debate that one is because Drake has had some skill. He does have some skill, 110%. But he's been able to make it really famous and always be in the Billboard. He's always relevant. Yeah. So, I mean, I will say that. I mean, I'm not going to say he's the best lyrically or anything like that. I love shit. I love me some Drake all day. You get me? Shit, a lot of his earlier shit. I mean, shit. The other day I played what's the name of that song? Was it Ransom? Or I forgot what.
I was listening to the entire Thank Me Later and Nothing Was the Same album. I boomed back to back, dog. They're good. It
was part of the Thank Me Later. It was part of it wasn't even Thank Me Later. It was part of one of the first mixtape.
Ransom is pretty good. Ransom is one of those lyric ones where he topped off lyrically.
I think it was Ransom, and I think I posted it on the IG, and my cousin from Arizona. He goes, no. He's like, that's Drake. I'm like, yeah. It doesn't sound nothing like the current Drake. I'm at all. At all.
So, it's because they have to reinvent themselves to keep selling. You know, they can't
I get that. I get. They have to follow the trend.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. They have to follow the trend.
Talking about the reinvention, and even at that, where rappers came in and, you know, like, they're fucking so influential and shit, and even the music that we're listening to now, but we're so easy to accept the change, and it's because we were programmed that way. I'm gonna ask you something, and this is just me being a conspiracy theorist, but if you ask me what Jurassic Park, and I'm saying Jurassic Park again because this is one of the biggest conspiracies that I was thinking of, I was brewing up in my head, and I mentioned it to you. Jurassic Park to me was one of the best fucking movies cinematic ever made, okay? Next to fucking Matrix. And even at that, I'm gonna bring Matrix in too. Jurassic Park tells a story of humankind remaking and recreating dinosaurs. They didn't only destroy the dinosaur era, the dinosaur look for us, because dinosaurs are not lizards. And now we know that they're connected to fucking feathered predators, which are fucking birds. But also the idea of DNA coding, DNA hacking, and genetically changing sexes through biotech, that has been accepted everywhere. We're accepting it because it was entertaining to see a dinosaur. First of all, in Jurassic Park, what they did was they made all female dinosaurs. When you put all women anything in a fucking jail, or all men anything in a jail, what's the first thing that they're gonna fucking do? They're gonna fuck. They're all gonna fuck. Women and women they don't matter. That's what they do.
I don't think they go in there fucking. I
mean, no, but look, you put any sex on any sex, they're still gonna smash, dog. That's part of fucking. That's how your body works. Okay, so but what they said was, instead of, but how do you know what sex of what animal gives birth? There's only one type of gender that gives birth, that's able to give birth, which is women. So why would they want to put only women dinosaurs? And then they come out to say we put African frog DNA into the DNA of the dinosaurs, which is why they came out looking different, and why they were able to change their sex to fucking repopulate. So now they were having uncontrolled populations of dinosaurs coming out, through eggs naturally way because of the DNA fraud, whatever. The point here is we accepted that in 1992. And now we're accepting it in humankind in 2022.
Well, I wouldn't say we're accepting it because there's fights everywhere. I wouldn't say we're accepting it.
Okay, yeah. I get it.
I think that's a little bit of a.
But it's I know I'm reaching. You could say I'm fucking reaching, but to me, it's programming, dog.
I wouldn't say it's programming. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, has there always been this issue? Yeah. I mean, you have to look at all the wars that have ever gone on. Women have played the role as a man to go to war. Women have also always been trying to be, quote, seen equal as men. Doesn't mean that they're going to be considered themselves a male. You get me? Oh, but I identify as a male, so you have to accept me. No. Look, it has a lot of similarities. I will say that. You get me? I will have to say that, yeah, is it a bit of coincidence? Yeah, it is. I'm not going to dispute that, none whatsoever. I do think in this point of view, this era's point of age, it's not so much understanding, it's more the concept of it. In that sense, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing. Doesn't affect me for the most part. You know what I mean? I haven't had it affect me, the whole transgender thing or believing it being in one way. It's more of a, I can't say somebody's wrong. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're going through. I'm personally going to tell you, nah, fool, you fucking born with a dick. I mean, you're a male. That's it. You get me? I mean, let's be honest about it. I mean, I do find a lot of the topics that they do bring up. It's like, oh, you can't misidentify anybody. Because you have to remember, when you're born, doctor looks at you. Guess what? You have a dick. Oh, yeah, boy.
You don't. That's
okay.
It, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't, you're female. Okay. I mean, that's definitely 100% gender identification. But I mean, it's a common truth. When you die, they're not going to look at your headstone or whatever it is. Or let's say a cemetery gets blown up and there's pieces everywhere. They're going to look at your femur. Oh, this was a male. This was a female. That's all they're going to see. They're not going to be like, oh, what are your pronouns? What are you believing in? Well, what do you call yourself?
Exactly.
I mean, so I do find that a little bit of a more on the ignorant, blissful side, if I'm going to be honest. And I'm using those words really lightly. I'm not trying to get anybody mad.
You're being careful. You're being emotionally careful.
But in realistically, all bluntness, you're either male or female. If you feel some type of way, hey, there's nothing I can say and do or say about that. You only know
that you were born with an XX or an XY chromosome.
Exactly. I mean, just because you feel some type of way, I don't know.
It's funny because even the movie, this is another observation. Another one of my favorite movies, The Matrix. The Matrix came out in 1999, March 31st. And then The Matrix was a fucking movie that people saw it as, it was impactful. The movie was amazing cinematically, right? Yeah. It was a great work of art, of artists and actors coming together and handling business. But the story, it's now, instead of us being the battery, because in the movie Matrix, we were batteries.
Yeah.
Batteries equal consumerism. That's what I think of it. The Matrix was a documentary telling us what the forthcoming of the next century would do. The next century, the next fucking millennium. When 2YK came out, dog, people weren't only scared about the fucking about apocalyptic havoc, right? And the fucking and the computers crashing, because from 1999 to 2000 there was a big hack, there was a big bug in all the computer systems around the fucking world, economically and politically and everything. There was a problem where people said, oh, there's gonna be a collapse first economically, and then the fucking civilization is gonna fucking rot. And that's what they thought. People were fucking selling bunkers. This is where bunkers were in, dog. Like, the bunkers were created. This is where people were like, oh shit, I need to get my fucking emergency stash out, my emergency backpack out and shit. People were really prepping for doomsday. So I got to a point where the Matrix is telling us a story of how we were going to become slaves, not directly to computers, but maybe through AI, maybe through digital, through the fucking metaverse. And still to this day, you tell me, what can you do without technology? Okay, so not to put your fucking your chonies out there, but you're in the pest control business, dog, and you're probably doing fucking very fucking well, and you're still You're probably using today more technology than they have ever used in that company. And not only that company, in the industry. Every industry now has been glued and fucking synchronized that cannot dude, there's fucking automated McDonald's in Colorado now. Like, it's just exactly like what we told you. How long more? Maybe 20 more years until we see the complete takeover of automated everything?
I definitely do think some, yes. For example, the mail industry, the newspaper are basically non-existent. You get me? Everything is all digital for the most part. When's the last time you actually went to go buy a newspaper? You get me? Most of it pops up on your newsfeed.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that shit.
Yeah,
the little vendors are not there anymore.
Exactly. I mean,
my kid will never see that. The payphone.
Exactly.
My kids will never see the payphone.
Exactly. A payphone. Exactly.
Jesus.
One of the, I guess, best things that we could say is that we got to see a bit of the old with a bit of the new, because we were the last basically generation that got to live with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because we do have to evolve to not say stagnant or anything. I mean, it's like, I don't want to get too conspiracy with it or anything, but the US was a dominant for a really long time.
Yeah.
Dominant. I mean, now with the whole BRICS thing going on, the change of currency, I mean, yes, is that a sign that the US has slipped a little? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's been thousands of changes. Look how England felt. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
After they were no longer the power. Remember, the England sun will never set. I mean, the British sun will never set. You get me?
The sun, will never set on British Empire. Yep,
so I mean, and even then,
and they were dismantled very quick after fucking Germany rose. Yeah, I remember that shit.
So I'm not saying change is bad. You got me? Everything has to go up. Everything has to go down. It's always good to have a competitive season, even in basketball. Shit, when the Warriors were winning back-to-back titles, you got me? LeBron fucking rose. You got me? LeBron rose again. He had to reinvent himself. See how he's playing. Even right now, tell me a greater athlete that's still being able to do half of stuff that he can. You get me? Whether he's doing it naturally or not, who the fuck knows? You get me? But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think it's just easier ways that people are taking advantage of it. You get me? Sometimes it does help.
The 90s had to be part of the most impactful decade. I don't want to say millennials as a generation. The most impactful decade right before 9/11, because even at that, you couldn't travel. You cannot travel like in the 90s. In the 90s, you would get on a plane and with ease travel around the fucking world. Now,
yes,
you cannot travel without fucking taking off your shoes and stanking up the whole place. Like, I'm talking about not only that, the fucking Patriot Act, where now they can listen to your phones and iPad. There's a reason why fucking what's the creator of the iPhone? What's the creator? What's his name? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said this shit live. My kids are not allowed to touch iPads or iPhones. And this is the fucking technology that he invented, and his kids are not allowed to touch it. There's a specific reason why, because he is tied with the government at this point where the technology needs to be used or has to or could be used by the government at any given point to fucking spy and listen to its civilians, which is, I mean, to a point to keep us safe in the name of safety, not in the name of freedom, because freedom has been repackaged also. In the name of safety, the world will never be the same from 1999 and on forward. And I know 9/11 happened in 2001, but even at that, you see what I'm saying, right? Like,
no, I get it.
The music, everything, the culture has been dude. There was a video where I saw where Vanilla Ice Vanilla, what's his name?
Vanilla Ice.
I forgot his fucking name. Vanilla Ice. Homie, he has two daughters that are they're in their 20s and they're in college, and they're telling him that he's a fucking badass because of his style, because everybody's retro today. Dude, the Mario movie just came out. When did Mario come out, dog? 1985, 1995, around there.
Look how big. Shit, Nintendo's actually gonna be dropping fucking a whole fucking movie universe now. You get me? Almost the same way as fucking Marvel. They're gonna be dropping. We're gonna see Metroid. We're gonna see King Kong.
Who do you think they're targeting that to? Millennials, dog.
110%.
This is the people that my wife went, and my wife told me, yeah, there was a lot of kids, but there were so many people my age up there for watching that fucking movie because their nostalgia. You see what I'm saying?
Chicharron was trying to go twice to go see it.
Dog, Chicharron, the homie Chichas from fucking.
The homie Chichas. Hey, shout out, big homie.
Shout out to the homie Chicharron, and thank you for your service, Chichas.
Chichas and shakies.
The 90s were definitely something extremely impactful that will still to this day have not aged, or it's aged well. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I could say that. I could say that very proudful. At the
A
same
never-ending
time,
cycle, to a sense.
never-ending cycle, and there has not, because of technology, we have not been able to progress culturally around the fucking world. The Dream Team. When was the Dream Team put together? Can you remind me? In the fucking 90s.
90s.
In the beginning, the United States of America was not able to fucking use any of the NBA athletes to fucking work or play in the Olympics, the basketball section of Olympics. When the Olympics decided, that the organization decided to allow NBA players from the United States of America to play, the Dream Team was made. This was a culmination of the Dream Team. They went on and getting gold in the Olympics, and the Dream Team after that was dead. You asked me who won the last I think it was China that won the last gold NBA. I mean, the last gold Olympic basketball. See, like even at that, the culture, it was at its peak right before technology came in and fucking fucked us over.
You're right. Hell, this has been a trip, big dog. This has definitely been a trip.
Let them know where they can find you. Do not tell them in 1992. Where were you born? 1994?
93, nigga.
You're a 93?
Yeah, I'm 93.
Right.
I'm 93.
Respect
Aren't you 91?
I'm a 94. Hey, fool, you
Hey,
disrespect
fool, you barely
me
made it.
now,
Fool, you
dog.
barely made it. Fool, you barely made it. All right.
I'm a real
right,
90s
you
baby, dog. Shut up, bro.
Shut the French up. So you guys will catch you at EKNAT626. Once again, EKNAT626. Let me know what you guys are not feeling, what you guys are feeling. Did you guys like this? Did you guys not? Was it good enough for you, or did you need more conspiracy in it? Let us know.
What was your main focus? What was your favorite song from the 90s? What was your favorite movie from the 90s? What was your style like in the 90s? What type of drugs were you using in the 90s? Let us know. Drop that comment on the DM and fucking Instagram. I want to know all about your drug use. I mean, all about your stuff. That shit, hit us up at paranoidradio.com. Paranoidradio.com. Big Tank, thank you so much for being here. And thank you all of you guys for joining us again on this 90s throwback. 90s forever, baby. That's right.
Till next time.